Welcome back, everybody. Another great week. Another week. We're through week 8 of the National Football League season. I'd like to welcome back two guests / colleagues. Our commissioner, welcome back to the program.
Thanks.
And you're the very own legit, or not, no. His team is best team on paper. I'm sorry. Best team on paper, Mr. Andrew Price. Welcome back to the program.
Thanks. My team's great.
Very contrasting attitudes and outlooks so far. But with that, let's without further ado, let's just get it started on the recap of what happened last week. Let's start here at the top. Very a lot of hard fought game between yours truly and Andrew. Andrew, take it away.
That score is laughable. I am so good. I made a mistake, though. I need to be better. I started Golden Tate. That's on me. I have to improve. I'm not satisfied with this win. I didn't double you up like I thought I was going to early. Should have started Diggs or Sanu in that spot, and I didn't. And that's on me, and I'm going to try and get better and learn from that. But I put puny opponents like you in the body bag, and I move on to the next one. I'm the best team on paper for a reason, and that reason is because I'm the best team on paper. Zip you up, move on to the next challenger.
Kyle?
Yeah, this is just a rout. There's nothing to say here. Ugliness all over the paper.
Yeah, it was a good week for me to rest my players up, and that way we don't get any injuries this week. So it's a good week to rest people up, and I didn't see myself being injured anyways this week. So it's a good rest week.
Yeah, I mean you say you had rest, but your two players
Moving on.
I don't think would make up 60 points. But hey, if you like to think that way and live in your glass house, feel free to.
You got to rest your players once in a while. Can't just always time them out there. They got to get rest. However, moving on, Kyle, we had a very disappointing loss to the team that will not be named that was supposed to be on the podcast, but he didn't appear. Your thoughts on your matchup with him?
Got whooped, obviously. Just a bad day. Just a bad day all around. There's not very many good numbers there. This one's tough. I don't want to say that I'm out of it now, but probably out of it. So, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah. Andrew, thoughts on Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, I just absolutely murdered you, Kib. I don't think you're going to be able to come back from that. And I'm sorry that you had to, get zipped up. It'll probably get pretty suffocating in the body bag I put you in, but maybe someone will be generous enough to cut you an air hole. But I don't know how you're going to come back from that.
Yeah, you got to rest your players up like I did. So we'll move on to next week. And like I said, but Kyle, it's a tough stretch for you right now. Very tough stretch. Not getting the production you want out of some of your players, and it's going to be tough. But good teams fight through it.
Well, I'm allergic to Kib's bullshit.
Good teams fight through it, and so we'll see where your head's at going forward. All right. Moving on, we have a very close battle between probably the worst team in the league and Bobby Norell's team, and a fighting Joe Graham's team, 87-82. Andrew, thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, it was a close game, unlike our matchup where I absolutely obliterated you. So close game, but pretty irrelevant because Bob's the worst team in the league, or one of the worst.
Yeah. Kyle, thoughts on a squeaky win by the other guy?
Yeah, Joe just had a lot of decent numbers. Bob tried to go big with Derek Carr, wasn't enough. Bob's pretty bad, actually. I mean, he's horrible. So the fact that he was within 5 points was pretty impressive on his part. So
yeah, he had an outside chance of winning this game if Kyle Rudolph, but he didn't. Yeah. So good. You got to win those close games, and it was good close win by Joe. Moving on. just a locomotive, a train, just never going to be stopped. We have Hutch every week. It's just, it's kind of like he's almost Alabama-esque at this point. I'd hate to put him up in that tier, but that's what his team looks like. It's another win by him. Andrew, thoughts on Hutch's win over Gibson?
Yeah, it was another closer game than you and I had. Gibson didn't find himself obliterated like you did this week. But yeah, Hutch is the perennial powerhouse in this league. So good for him. Good win.
Kyle?
So we always talk about those Thursday games, and Blake Bortles finally broke out, but then he had to start the Jaguars D. If they get like 3 points, he tied. Like all they need to do is 4 points. The Jags need to get 4 points, and he wins that game. Yeah, and that is fortunate for Matt. He actually played somewhat well this week.
Yeah, like stated earlier, Andrew. Sometimes you got to rest your players, and that's what teams have to do. And however, like I said, good win by Hutch. Looks like he's the locomotive headed through. Welcome.
Oh, what's up, dudes?
Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Long time no see. Apologize.
Right in the middle. So unprofessional.
It's been a long time. I forgot how to do it.
Andrew, thoughts on the person who shall not be named return?
Yeah, I mean, you got blown out in your game against me this week. It was pretty ugly. And thoughts and prayers to your team.
I thought I won this week.
No, I'm talking to Kid.
Oh.
He's trying to deflect, away from the actual questions because he thinks his team's being snobbed. However, we like to move on here.
That sentence made about as much sense as your starting lineup you put out there this week.
Yeah, you got to rest your players once in a while. However, moving on, we had probably you're going to see the lowest combined total points between two teams. That I don't know how somebody even came out with a victory with these two low total points. However, somebody always has to win. And Mike came out victorious in 65. And Robert, his roommate. Kyle, initial thoughts on this victory by Robert?
Didn't Mike win?
I'm sorry, by Mike.
No,
Kid's pretty,
I had a bunch of thoughts in my head, and then you spun me around.
Yeah, Kid's pretty rattled because I just put him in a body bag, so his brain's all jumbled.
Yeah,
more than usual.
I mean, I can see that
You gotta,
happening.
sometimes your players got to rest in body bags, but that's fine.
The legit best team on paper can now not win his own division. So him getting the playoffs right now, he's got to win out, obviously, getting the playoffs. And I think the legit best team on paper won't make the playoffs, so is he really the legit best team on paper? I don't think so. I don't think his team's all that great, to be honest. Never did.
Yeah.
But yeah, good win for Mike, I guess. Yeah, you got to get those close ones, right?
Yeah, you got to squeak them out. Eric, thoughts on our old roommate's victory over Robert?
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, good for him. Really, really happy for the guy. They love to see people that have been in the league long term beat people that are new to the league. You love to see that. To be honest, I'm just surprised about our other ex-roommate Hutch, and his performance this year has been. I don't understand it. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm sure you guys have talked about that on multiple podcasts, but it kind of blows my mind, and I don't know how that's happening.
Yeah, it's Alabama-esque. I referred to that a little bit earlier. What he's doing to everybody, it's strict business week in and week out with him. So, however, Andrew, thoughts on Mike's victory over his roommate Robert?
Yeah, I think Robert's officially thrown in the towel. Randall Cobb didn't play, and he started him, so I think that's a good indicator. And I scored more points than both these teams combined. Kim, you can speak to that firsthand because all those points piled on you and suffocated you and put you in a body bag. So it's got to be tough for them, but you know what? They're gonna. You could have beat at least these guys, so good for you. You can leave the week thinking that or knowing that. But yeah, another irrelevant game here.
Yeah, you got to have your players rest once in a while. And Andrew, However, by Mike, low-scoring wins are always fun to come across, like he did 65 to 60. However, just some quick housekeeping before we move on to the previews. Are the two additions we did this year, are they good for our league moving forward, or are they more bad moving forward? Couple tweets I had thrown at me about is that good for us because we know we're basically a guaranteed win when we play them, or is it just going to dilute our league to mean not being that strong going forward? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's bad for the league because you got, especially with Robert, I mean, he's not even setting a lineup, it looks like, or really caring about who's in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
So players like him who just throw a team out there, I mean, it's nice to be able to beat up on them, but at the same time, it does dilute the league a little bit when you got people not even sitting their rosters. Something we'll have to look at, reevaluate, and, make a decision that's best for us moving forward.
Yeah, that's definitely a discussion we'll bring up in the owners meeting in the winter owner meeting moving forward.
That's a
Eric,
thing.
thoughts on yeah, that's a thing. It's always a thing. Or I guess it's a summer. It's a summer.
Man, thoughts. I gotta agree with my esteemed former fellow colleague Price. I obviously have a lot of respect for his thoughts here. And I think just to add on that, we actually cut a guy from our league for those exact same reasons. The guy named Jonah Brooks. I think we all may or may not remember him in this league.
Literally never.
On his head. Yeah. But, he didn't set a lineup. He kind of sucked, had a terrible draft. And you saw what happened. So, I mean, take that for what it is.
Yeah. Yep. Kyle, or Commissioner?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I question a lot of Bob's traits, but he's at least trying. Maybe he might be an idiot, but he's trying, so I can't blame him. But I don't at this point. Guys, how many friends do we know that we want in the league? We gotta, think about that.
We're not very likable, so we do not have that many friends.
There's not many people that all 10 of us or 9 of us, I guess, know. So that's something.
Kyle, are we open to adding a Brooke, a Jackie, or is that way too far-fetched? Am I thinking way crazy here?
Whoa.
That's the kind of outside.
I don't know if Jackie
outside the box thinking that I love. That I think the guy who should not be named is trying to take our commissioner's spot on the podcast back.
Ooh.
Just trying to get my spot back. Not trying to kick anybody out.
When we families for the end of the season thing, we'll get to those ideas. So.
Yeah, that those are usually in the owners' winter meeting talks.
Are we? Question, Kip. Are we going on site for that? Are we going to the Cancun, Bahamas, St. Kitts and Nevis? What are we doing for this meeting in the winter here?
This will be at the McDonald's across from the Pint in West Lafayette, Indiana. That's usually the hot spot. However, yeah, I look at this as more of an opportunity, and having two guys that are terrible being great for me long term. I guess I'm in a little bit of a disagreement. However, I agree with the trading aspect on Kyle that you referenced with Bob. At least he's trying. He's giving an effort. Robert, on the other hand, the effort isn't there. It's lacking. It's a little down. But moving forward, hopefully it changes, and hopefully they get a little bit more drive in them. We'll see. All right. Moving on to some Week 9 previews. Let's get that started. All right. So first game we have here. Let's go at the bottom. Wow. We'll go Hutch versus Robert. Yikes. Probably, yeah, it's the best team versus the worst team. Andrew, your thoughts on this matchup in Week 9?
Let me see here. I like to say that. Okay.
Very prepared.
I like to think that Robert's going to win, so I'm going to have to pick Robert.
Okay. Eric, thoughts on Hutch versus Robert matchup?
You know, I have a personal opinion on this game. Obviously, I would love to see Hutch lose. I think we all would. That goes without saying. But I'm going to bring back to my patented analysis. You know, I'm a big check marks guy. I think the fans know that.
Yep.
Robert's got a lot of checks. I think we can see that. Kyle's nodding his head yes. He sees those checks. I mean, stats don't lie, so I'm picking Robert on this one.
Well, Kyle's thoughts on this matchup?
Robert showing a complete disrespect towards me, I think, with his team name. So I'm still going to have to pick him, but I think it should be mentioned that, you know, I do have the best team on paper, and I don't think that's really up for debate. I have the most points in this league. I am number one in all aspects regarding points. Win streaks besides Hutch. I'm the hottest team in the league besides him. And I've proven myself these last, 4 weeks that I am the best team. It's not really a debate. And I've been the best team for an entire season with a point total. So for him to say that, I mean, unless it's, comedic relief with how bad his team is, pretty disrespectful. And, I still think he's going to win the game because I don't let, my emotions make my picks. But I think it should be mentioned that I'm aware of the situation.
Well, Andrew, I think that might stem from the league a little bit. We may have gotten in his head when everybody was praising his team after the draft, So, he may have gotten in his head that he actually has a good team when on paper he does not.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to pick Hutch here. At this point, I've dreamed about this. I have. Hutch goes 13-0 and then loses in the first round of the playoffs. Like, that's the best case scenario that I can hope for right now. Will it happen? No, probably not. But going for it.
Okay. Yeah, like Eric referenced, I'm a big checkmark guy as well. So, we're going with Robert. That's just straight Robert. All right. Moving on. Ooh, here we go. Big, the old, I don't know.
What are you saying?
Gabe, are you there?
Eric.
Use your words, man.
I'm here.
Eric, why don't you start with you? Your thoughts on your matchup with Andrew?
Well, thanks for finally spitting that one out. I've been looking forward to this matchup. This is two teams that are winning price for four-game win streak. I mentioned that earlier. I'm on a 2-game win streak. The projected total has me 7 points ahead. That always means nothing. But I'd like to pick myself here just because I can't pick Andrew against me. I just can't do that. But I think it's going to be a close matchup. It's going to be within 5 points.
Andrew, thoughts on your matchup?
Yeah, so the guy who should not be named catching me on a lot of buys this week. I don't use it as an excuse when I get my ass kicked by other players like somebody else on this panel who got his ass kicked by me last week. I won't mention who it was, but he got absolutely destroyed by me last week. And so with that being said, I've got my boy Jack Doyle in the lineup. He's my favorite player in the NFL. I picked him with my heart as the tight end spot. Need him to come up big for me, and I hope he does. So I'm just going to hope for the best. And I did not realize that Eric's actually in the running in this league. 4-4 out of nowhere. Did not see that. So yeah, he can. This is a huge game for both of us.
Yeah. Kyle, thoughts on
Sorry, the guy who should not be named. Don't know who Eric is.
Thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah. So basically, the North Division is irrelevant. That one's all pretty much set in stone. 2 huge matchups in the South Division this week. This is one of them. You got 3 teams at 4-4. Win the division if his team really is the best team on paper, which his name is, so it's probably true. I don't know why I'd lie about that. But I'm not going to call it a must-win for Eric, but it would obviously help a lot. You never want to drop down 2 games to the first-place team. So I'm going to pick Andrew. Having said that, I will pick Andrew on this one. But I do assume Aaron Rodgers puts up a 50-point game this week.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers might score 100 fantasy points.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I'm still out of the corner of my eye after I picked you in. I'm like, that guy might score 50. Like,
that might win you the week if he scores.
Of
However, also, remember, Kyle, we're big non-Thursday night fans. And both, I think, Andrew, you have Devontae Freeman and is that it? So you just have one on Thursday night. Eric, you have 2. I like Andrew just in the fact that I'm not a big Thursday night guy, so I'm going to go with the guy with the less Thursday night
check marks.
Yeah, and he's got more check marks. Eric, remember, we're check mark guys here. However,
all that being said, he's starting Trevor Siemian.
Eric, I don't set the lineups. I just predict the game.
Fair. Just wanted to throw that out there. And it looks like Tim Doyle's cousin here, Jack Doyle. So yeah, I don't know about that guy either.
the next
Kim?
game.
Simeon's playing against a pretty bad Oakland defense, just for the record.
All right.
They gave up a lot of yards through the air. Did we lose, Kim?
Yeah, were you there, dog?
He's
Well, no
dead.
one clicked on the next game, so that sucks. But
I don't think we can stop the broadcast.
how's Arizona, Kyle?
Nice, still warm.
It's been like
I went out and
70
got a little sun last weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been this
70.
70 there. I mean, we had like 90, but whatever. Like, it's pretty close.
What do you guys think of my hairstyle tonight?
Do I love it? Yes. Hey, can we just talk about the fact that even though it won't happen, if the team who will not be named and my team, we would have a 4-way record tie in our division.
Oh, wow.
Well,
That'd be cool.
I have the most points,
Unprecedented.
and so I would be, in first place. But
I'm back.
Well, yeah, unless I score like 400 points, Andrew, so that could happen.
I'm back. My bad.
I can score 300, and I could score like 55. So it could turn in a second.
It's my fault.
It's always
Yeah, well, it
your
wasn't ours, so.
All right. Anyways, Kyle, thoughts on your matchup with Joe?
Yeah, obviously it's a must-win for me. I'm calling that right now. Cannot go to 4 and 5. Marks, it looks like obviously the South Division is much more competitive than the North, so this is a big one.
Kim?
Yeah.
Do we lose? This is let's.
Come on.
Oh, he's still there. All right.
Can you not hear me?
We can when you
Yeah,
talk.
I'd say we go ahead and we vote on, kicking Kib out of the podcast and having the guy who should not be named with Kyle and I and have the new triumvirate. I think that is the direction we need to start looking at if this sort of thing continues, because this is really unacceptable and a waste of not only our time, which is super valuable, but we care about the viewers, and I don't want to waste their time with this mediocrity. He just got body bagged in this league, and he's letting it affect him in this essay now. I mean, I just don't think that this is acceptable behavior just because you go out there and you run a piss-poor, mediocre lineup out there and you get trumped, tackled, and massacred by the best team in this league on paper doesn't mean that you come in this week and don't put a freaking smile on that face and come in like nothing happened and bring the energy for the fans, and he's not doing that. And that's absolutely unacceptable. I take responsibility for this for the viewers because I'm a man. He's not. He's a coward, and he has a terrible team. He lets his team affect him. And you know what? That's unacceptable, and I apologize to the viewers, and I'm going to try and bring the steam level up for not only me, but for him as well, because you guys deserve better.
You broke up there. I didn't hear you. Anyways. Eric, go ahead and preview the Kyle versus Joe matchup.
Look, Kyle versus Joe here. Kyle's sitting at 500. Love to see him get a win. Like Kyle said, this division's pretty competitive here. We're not just a bunch of scrubs like the people in the North. But I'm gonna pick Kyle here. Like to see that tie. So yeah, I'm picking Kyle. Kib?
Yeah, I think that Kyle, I like on paper. I should say I'm cheering for Kyle because I want him to win because that would, if I win, I'm even another game, 2 games ahead. But I don't worry about other teams in this league. I have the best team on paper, as I showed last week when I absolutely massacred somebody on this panel. But I think Kyle's going to win. He's got a great team. Joe's team always finds a way to skate by, though, so I feel like Kyle could have a down week and Joe takes him because he's the king of winning low-scoring matchups right now. But that being said, I'm not a check marks guy, but I'm going to go with Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle, I'm going to go with you just because it is such a must-win matchup, just on that fact. However, last week it was as well. Moving on. Well, I mean, just 2 bottom barrel teams, Mike versus Bobby Norrell. Mike's total is really insane but however, Andrew, go ahead and preview this matchup.
It's not worth my time next game. Not worth the viewers' time.
Hear
it? Ditto.
Yeah, Kyle?
I just want to see if he has enough players to fill his lineup. I'm interested to see how he does that, but other than that, I don't really care.
Bobby did want to put one piece of I guess talking about his team. He said he wanted to let the owners know that he is an active owner and he is picking up a kicker. He just hasn't put him in his lineup. That was one piece of something he wanted to tell the fans. However, we don't really care.
So he's going to do a full. Like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, irrelevant game. Moving on. My matchup with Gibson. Thoughts on this matchup?
I mean, do I even care about these games anymore? This game has no meaning. The 1 and 2 place teams in the North are already decided, so I could care less.
Eric?
Yeah, it doesn't look like a very important matchup. Another big part of my analysis in the past has been pictures, and I'm looking at these 2 teams here. Yeah, I love the John Daly with the SIG. That's just classy. Gibson always with a great picture, probably top 2 picture guys in this league, even with the 2-6 record. Kib, I like your picture, but I'm tempted to pick Gibson, even though I know he's going to lose based on that. But I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna throw you a bone here.
Appreciate it, Andrew.
Yeah, I guess you don't respect John Daly at all. Just a complete disregard for him. Making him your picture after getting massacred is an all-time Bush League move on your part. So with that being said, I'm going to have to go with Gibson. We lost him again. Probably for the best, though. And none of his
up and end.
I wish we could do that.
Yeah, let's wrap this up before the mediocrity just ruins us.
It's pretty unprofessional.
Yeah. Instead, we go ahead and press end. If we all leave, does it end or does it keep recording?
All right, we'll call it.